Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jessica if you are. This is my Pan Those Eyeshadows update. I believe this is now my fourth update for 2024, and I'm on my fourth year of doing Pan Those Eyeshadows, which is just crazy. I cannot believe I've been doing this project this long. Goes to show how much I love it. This is what got me into panning. I love working on my eyeshadows, cycling through all of my different palettes and getting use on the collection that I've spent so much money on over the years. If by some chance you are new to this project, I did not create this. It was created by Alexi, a YouTuber, and it's an eyeshadow panning project. Everyone does this a little bit differently, but in my project this year, I'm currently working on 4 eyeshadows at a time. I'm using them as much as I can, ultimately with the goal of hitting pan on them. However, if I use them at least 30 times and have them in my project for at least 3 months. If those 2 criteria are met, but I still have not hit pan, I do allow myself in most cases to roll out that eyeshadow unless by some chance I decide to keep it in and keep working on it. But by that time, I'm pretty bored by it and I want to keep things fresh and excited into this project. So I don't often do that. This is going to be a pretty short update today. I'll tell you right now, I don't have anything rolling out. I'm a little disappointed. This doesn't often happen for me, but it's progress all the same. And I'm a little relieved actually because I have a lot of other eyeshadows that I would like to work on. And this will just kind of make my job a little bit easier to not roll anything fresh this month. But I have made progress and I'm excited to share that with you. I also like to share some of my favorite eyeshadow looks that I created over the past month in this video, but I was a total failure during the past few weeks. I took, I think, 3 pictures of 3 different looks during the whole month, which is very unlike me. I guess I was just out of practice, kind of out of the groove of things. I've been really busy. My mind's been a lot of places, and my makeup's also been pretty mundane and boring. There were a couple really pretty looks that I created that I completely forgot to take pictures of, mostly because they are things that I wore to special events, and I was just so, in the moment and in the event and excited to be having fun with my friends that I wasn't thinking about taking pictures of my makeup. What are you gonna do? So that makes for a short video. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. It's kind of good for me because, again, busy day. I have a lot of stuff going on. As per usual, it's the end of the year for a teacher, and as many of you might know, that's a very hectic time of year. So let's get this video started. But if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you at my little makeup corner of the internet over here. And if you're into painting content, it's a fun little community to be a part of. Go ahead and give this video a quick thumbs up before you forget, and leave me a comment at any point. I love hearing from you. Let's get started. Starting with an eyeshadow that's been in this project for 2 months. I have one from my Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and I'm working on a pink shade in here. This is the Year of Pink, and it's been a little bit of a challenge to reach for an additional pink because I have so many other pinks that I'm working on in my Pan That Palette series. But this one is still getting used all the same. So here's what this pink shade was looking like when I first brought it into the project. I reached for it 6 times during the first month, and here's what it was looking like last month after those 6 uses. And in the past month, I reached for it 7 additional times, making for 13 uses total. And here's what the shade is looking like today. And you can see that I've got a nice little dip starting to form in that shade, but we are not anywhere close to pan yet. I think I should be able to really focus on the shade and get pan on it before the next update, maybe with like 8 to 10 more uses. This is a very powdery formula, so it's not difficult to make progress in. It's just difficult for me to reach for more and more pinks. But a challenge is nothing that I'm afraid of. I love these panning games because they give me a little bit of a challenge, and I am pretty confident that I'll have it rolled out for you by the next update. And before I forget, here's a little swatch of that shade. It's a very bubblegum pink type shade, and it's not too difficult to wear. I can blend this into neutrals to give it a little bit more of a rosy kind of warmer hue, and it works well for that. I just need to remember to reach for it a little bit more and not think that I have to like solely use this in pink looks because I'm getting burnt out on pink looks, as many of you may know. The next shade comes from my BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles palette. This has also been in my project for 2 weeks. I'm working on the shade Sunset. Here is Sunset. It's a beautiful pink shimmer with a gold shift. I've been loving wearing this. I have it on my eye today. It's on the inner part of my lid here, and then on the majority of my lid, I have a bronze shimmer shade from my Pan That palette. So I've been blending this with a lot of neutrals and just getting a little bit more wear out of it that way. Here's what the shade was looking like when I first brought it into the project. I reached for it 8 times during the first month, and here's what it was looking like then. And in the past month, I reached for it 9 additional times, making for 17 uses total. And here's what Sunset Boulevard is looking like today. We have quite the satisfying dip going, but no pan yet. I kept thinking in the past few times I reached for the shade that I might hit pan. I know I'm getting close. I can feel it. I can smell it. Us panners tend to have a pretty good sense of when pan is coming. If you know, you know. And I know this will be out by the next update. I would not be surprised if the next time I reach for this, a pan appears. But I'm going to keep it in the project all the same. I'm not going to roll anything in to replace it, just to kind of give myself a little bit of a break. I know this pan is coming and I won't have to work too hard for it. And then I'll be able to focus on other projects that I am working on as far as eyeshadow goes. It'll just be one less thing I have to think about. So that one is staying in. Maybe like 1 or 2 more uses I should have a pan, and maybe I'll just use it a few additional times and give you a nice big juicy pan for the next update. Would you like that? If you want to see a bigger pan, leave a little, you know, the frying pan emoji. I have no idea. I'm making up emojis, but you know, let me know in the comments if you want me to see how big I can make this pan. That might just be a fun little project. But in the meantime, I'm really enjoying the shade and I don't mind keeping it around a little bit longer. I was very excited last month to roll in my ABH Norvina palette. This is quite a neglected palette in my collection, so I was very excited to have it out on my vanity and to reach for it. I actually really love it. I love the velvet purple. I love the shades in here. I love the whole feel, so it's about time I got some use on it. I rolled in the shade Incense, which is like this very kind of neutral mid-tone brown shade. Such an easy shade to reach for. I was very happy to have a neutral rolled into this project. Just felt like a little bit of a relief on my panning pressures. So here's what Incense was looking like when I first brought it into the project last month. I reached for it 13 times during the past month, which I was very happy with. And here's what it's looking like today after those 13 uses. And I'm actually kind of surprised to say that there is not much to show for those 13 uses. Because this is more of a mid-toned crease shade for me, I'm using more fluffy brushes with them, so I'm just not seeing the amount of progress I would with a more dense brush. That's fine. I'm going to enjoy reaching for this. It does kind of compete with some other shades in my Pan That palette, but I don't really mind. It's different enough, and I want to get used on my entire collection, not just my Pan That palette. And this is just a little way for me to do so. I've also been enjoying reaching for some of these shimmers on the top row. I've used the base shade a couple times, not often, and maybe like Passion once or twice. And I'm thinking this will probably be with me for at least another 2 months, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm excited to keep digging into this palette and get more use on it and have fun with it. I think this is a great one for the spring. Even though the spring is coming to an end soon, I am loving having this around. So that is all for Incense, and again, that one's staying in. And this last shade is one that I selected from Lainey's prompts last update, and I think the prompt was Shimmer. I'll insert the prompt here once I remember it. You can always watch my old video to find out as well, or I could just have a better memory. But there's a lot of things going on up here, okay? I can't remember everything. I decided to bring in one of my Super Shock shadows, and I reached for the shade Birthday Boy. So here's Birthday Boy in the swatch. It's a beautiful taupey brown shade. It's actually quite dry, and a few of you recommended to me to revive this with a face oil or some kind of body oil, which I did, and it's okay. You know, it did help a little bit. It's not 100% better, but thank you for that suggestion, and it has kind of revived the shade just a little bit. So here's what Birthday Boy was looking like last month. I didn't have a lot of use on it, but it definitely wasn't brand new. I reached for it 9 times during the past month. I'm really happy with that, and here's what Birthday Boy is looking like today. And again, even with 9 uses, I thought I might see a little bit more of a dip starting to form, but there isn't a lot to show for it. Actually, now that I'm looking at it in the video camera, it looks a little bit more dramatic than it does in person. I think it's just the way the light reflects, and yay, that's a bonus. I think this one's going to be a little bit of a challenge to hit pan on, but it's not a challenge to reach for. I love this shade. It looks beautiful with any cool toned crease, even warm toned crease. It pairs well with a lot of other colors. I can wear it with pinks, purples, and I just think it's a really nice one. So I'm having fun playing with it. One of my panning goals this year was to hit pan on all of my Super Shock shadows, and this is my first attempt, and I'm kind of doubting if that's going to happen, but you know, we will never get there if we don't start. So hopefully this pan comes the next month or 2, and then I can roll in another Super Shock shadow either into this project or into another one to try and get closer to that goal. But this one is going to stay in. It will have a pan on it soon, and I'm enjoying the journey to getting there. Those are my 4 shades. I think this was a really fun palette during the past month. These pair really well together. I've had a lot of fun mixing them, creating kind of like warm, neutral looks, a lot of pinks, a lot of browns. I'm a happy camper, just a little bit tired of pink. But I just need to find ways to mix it up and keep it interesting for myself. It's another challenge that kind of adds on to my other painting challenges, and it's fun. I'm not like torturing myself, I promise you. Even though I didn't hit any pans in this project, this is the video where I like to update you on my pan percentage. So I'm keeping track of all of the eyeshadow shades in my collection that have pan on them. Currently this year, I have 435 individual shades of eyeshadow, and as of last month, I had pan on 75 of them. So my pan percentage was 17.24%. Even though we don't have a pan in any of these shades, I do have one new pan from my Pan That Palette series. So that brings my total pans up to 76 eyeshadows out of 435, bringing my new pan percentage to 17.47%. So we only went up about 1/4 of a percentage point, but every little bit counts. I would love it if this year I could get close to 22 to 23%. That's like my loose goal, even though it's completely arbitrary. It totally means nothing. It's just like a fun way for me to track my progress and see how much I'm using my eyeshadow collection. And last but not least, even though I told you I was a huge failure as far as taking photos of my makeup this past month, I still have a couple to share with you. Nothing exciting, but I didn't want you to feel like I totally gypped you this video, so here they are. Here's an example of that neutrally pink look I created so often using this color palette in the past month. So I have incense all throughout the crease, then I have that pink matte in the outer corner just to deepen things up, and then I have Sunset Boulevard all over the lid. This is a really pretty eye look I created. I actually really loved this one. This has incense all throughout the crease again. It has Birthday Boy all over the lid, and then I topped it in the center with a different shade. I think it's a gold shade from my Project Level Up, and I just thought that little pop of gold added a lot of dimension. It was really pretty, and I was also feeling my hair this day, and I was wearing red, which I decided I need to wear more red. I actually really like how I look in red. I don't even know if there's any Pan Those Eyeshadows looks in here. There's gotta be at least incense in the crease, and then probably the pink shade as well in the outer corner, just to deepen it. I probably mixed it a lot with the browns. And then I topped my lid with a cream eyeshadow that I'm working on in my deck of painting project. So nothing to stand out here from Pan Those Eyeshadows, but hey, it's one of the looks I created and I might as well share it since I have nothing else to share. And this last look is a very neutral look that I created. This definitely has incense all throughout the crease, and then I decided to let my eyeliner shine, put on a nice neutral lip. I was going to kind of a conservative event, so I didn't want to look too flashy, and I probably have a shimmer shade on my lid here from my Pan That palette. And that brings my update today to a conclusion. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave. I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you for watching this video. It means so much to me. I'm sending my love out to you wherever you are in the world that this video finds you. I hope you're doing well, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. But until then, take care. Bye.